Welcome in, Smite fans, to the recap for the Smite World Championship Group Stages, day number 1. You've got Frog, you've got J-Mac and Jangaru joining me for day number 1. A fantastic day of matches, best of threes to start us all off, of course. And to start the day, we had a pretty good one. Highland Ravens, maybe the number 5 seed, the SPL team that we were surprised didn't make Worlds in the initial qualifiers, going up against the Jabalba Storm. A tough matchup to start out with that SCC team. J-Mac, how'd that one go?
This one felt very Ravens slanted, even kind of going into the matchup. We saw a heavy priority for Thor. It had from both of these teams. Game number 1, he was able to go to the side of Scream, absolutely dominated on, I believe, a 7-0 at one point in the game. And then we kind of see that flip where they say, okay, well, now Jabalba Storm wants to go ahead and grab the sword for Rat Milk, and he did well. The unfortunate part is he kind of gave away a Maman Brigitte over to Scream, and Scream is probably one of the best junglers in the SPL on that pick so far, so giving over some of those top picks away. But over anything, this is just one where the SPL teams coming into this one looked a lot more cohesive than some of the other matchups that we had so far today and for this event. So I think moving forward to try and take down the Ravens, you want to try and slow down Scream because he's really become the powerhouse with it. Haddock's on the Achilles looked nigh unkillable throughout the entire game. I think that's going to be a pick that we really see kind of rise up over the course of this event for how significant it is. Having that execute is really always just an easy tool to have, to not have to kill everybody all the way, just get them quite enough to be able to get those executes out. And I think it's just clean play overall by the Ravens and nets in that win.
Yeah, I think Haddock's for sure is one of the happier soul laners to be back on the Warriors over in that short lane. Next set though, I mean, we had the EU SCC starting the day up against the Camelot Kings versus the Solar Scarabs. Jengar, I know you caught a little bit of that set. What were you seeing from the Solar Scarabs there?
I saw at least April, someone that caught my eye. I don't really pay attention too much to USCC, but I do think he was actually very, once he got that rage with Merc, he got very aggressive. He had one goal, and that was to kill Quick from what I saw, because he definitely did owe him a lot on that shield buff. I think overall they did play better, honestly, than I thought. They played clean. We've been scrimming the Kings a lot, so it was kind of weird to compare and see how you can be with against us. I was comparing okay, well, they're an EU SCC team playing against their second seed to the first seed team we played against. So I was like, maybe I should be a little careful. And as you can see, I was definitely correct. But overall, they did play fantastic. I do hope the Kings do pull it back tomorrow though, whenever they do play.
And Solar Scarabs taking it 2-0 up against the Kings, but Kings going to have a chance tomorrow to play in that elimination match. We'll see if they're able to hold on to their tournament chances. I mean, the last matchup of the day, that was one that you were a part of. Gilded Gladiators going up against Hex Mambo. Unfortunately, you guys falling 2-0 to the Hex Mambo in that set. What were your thoughts on that set? I mean, how do you guys looking to bounce back tomorrow?
We were very confident. I think maybe a little too overconfident. I feel like our comms were a little more chaotic or just silent. We weren't really playing as well together like we normally do from how we've been practicing. I think we just have to watch back, clean up a lot of stuff. I think personally, just clean up. I want to clean up being near Snoop as much as I can, clean up just playing together more, talking to each other. I think that's how we can bounce back against the Rat Milk team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the vibes are definitely important going into tomorrow. I mean, J-Mac, we saw a bunch of the EU SCC obviously came out 4-0 today, and then the NA SCC, we saw them early. We're going to see them to start the day tomorrow. You got to imagine all of these SCC teams are looking to prove their worth. I mean, at this point, we could have a lot of them. It's still anybody's game on who makes it to Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, we went into Worlds last year going, okay, maybe we might see a one SCC team take it, and then both the USCC teams end up making it through. We get to this event, we're like, okay, maybe one, at best we might see two, but I mean, at the moment with how powerful the SCC teams are looking, with maybe a bit how scattered some of the SPL teams have been in their communications or in their gameplay, we're looking like we could see two, maybe even a possibility of 3 SCC teams, which would be absolutely wild to think of. But I think Jangaru kind of put it best as communications, at least from what I noticed when we got to do a listening with the team, was probably one of the bigger aspects that I noticed that need maybe a little bit of extra cleaning up going forward. And I think that's really what every team kind of really needs. You're in a big event right now. It's a lot of pressure on the line. Being able to stay calm, stay clear with your communications to your team, what needs to be done where, team fights, I think is probably one of the biggest key factors, along with obviously being able to play well and draft well. But communications, they're a breaker. I mean, you tune into some teams that are losing, it's dead silence. You're saying, man, is it dead silent because they're losing? Is it dead silent because they don't know what to say? So I think that moving forward, I'm looking more and more towards these listens to kind of see how these teams are going. Because, I mean, you listen in when we jump over to Hex Mambo, it's, I've got this, I'm ready to go, 2 seconds on this, 1 moment here. And there's a lot of voices going, but you know exactly what's being said, what's being communicated. And I think that's a key for every team moving forward in the event.
Right. I mean, that and the energy and the momentum that teams are bringing to this event. Janger, I want to get your final thoughts, right? Your matchup is determined for tomorrow. You're going up against the Xibalba Storm in a best of 3 elimination. Loser goes home. Obviously, a lot of good things to take away from the match today. What are you thinking, like, team-wise, you guys are looking to do tonight and then tomorrow to really feel as good as possible for that match?
Obviously, prep. I do want us all to get together and kind of just, like, explain, like, what's going on, what we can do better to just communicate with each other, listen to each other, all of that. I think once we, honestly, just concrete that, really our communication, I think we'll be good to go.
Definitely a good attitude. Well, best of luck tomorrow, Jangar. That'll do it for us on the recap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow on twitch.tv/SmiteGame to see the rest of the action.